Sure. Oh, okay. Hello, we are introducing January Miller. January Miller is a multimedia artist who has been experimenting with video and different image making technologies since they were a young child. And we now have this fortunate opportunity to come together and discuss how their practice has evolved over the years and what their participation in this fellowship um, looks like to them, what it means to them, and what their hopes and aspirations for it are. So, hello, January.
Hello, Liz. Thank you so much for interviewing me.
I'm very stoked. Yes, let's get into it. This interview is for Abandoned Normal Devices, of which January Miller is a participant of, and is going to be simultaneously creative directing the project Femmes at Large. So let's get into it. Hello, January. Who are you? And what would you like your legacy to be? Let's get into it.
Ooh, that's such a loaded question because I think I'm still on the quest of figuring out exactly who I am, especially in the last 2 years. I've really had a real transformative experience as far as like coming into my gender fluidity and just coming into my queerness. And it's helped me to realize like what I really enjoy and what I love to do, which is create safe spaces for other people who are gender fluid or non-binary or queer. So yeah, I think I'm just a person who's trying to figure themselves out while also like collaborating with beautiful people in the process. And as far as my legacy, I think all of us selfishly want to be remembered in some aspects. But I think in the past, I've always kind of wanted it to be like on a bigger stage. But now I've realized just through like the connections I make and the meaningful connections that I'm a part of, even just like recently, are more meaningful than like a bigger stage. So I just want to leave an impact on people that I can help and who've helped me. So yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much for answering that. Okay, so the next question that I would love to ask you is to speak on, and this is a question directly from Anne. They would like to know, where is the strangest and most unusual location or situation that has sparked your creative inspiration?
It's kind of tough because like sometimes I could be a people watcher. So like even just being at a coffee shop, I could see something or somebody. I'm like, oh, that's inspiring. That's interesting. I think maybe the weirdest place is maybe at work. So I work in like a regular, boring like office with a cubicle, and like to the outsider, it might not be the most like creative, inspiring place to get ideas from. But for me, like I see certain things and certain people, the way they move, the way they see things, conversations that I'm able to grab from. And like I'm a YouTube head, so I'm like always on YouTube. So like gaining media from other platforms is really a place that I've really gained creativity. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I love that. It's kind of like those unexpected environments, or it's being able to like appreciate like those small quirks in like your everyday life that help you think of life in a completely new way. And it's funny how just like something so small can just like become a portal to all new possibilities and ideas. And I think it actually like speaks to your creativity when your imagination can just like flutter with so many ideas when it's not being stimulated outwardly by too much. I think it like really speaks to like the creativity that lies within you, and you're not being dependent on something outside of you to like just make you, I don't know, appreciate the exquisiteness of life in a simple way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then the next question for you, can you please speak on collaboration and how it impacts different aspects of your life? What it means to you?
Yeah, it's interesting because I feel like my best work comes out of collaboration. Being able to collaborate with you, Liz Putu, we've been collaborating since we were like 7 on just little stuff, big stuff. So like, I feel that like a lot of great things have come out of that collaboration, but also like when you're with people who allow you the space to create and like there's no bad ideas and you're just kind of sitting there and just really like finding things that can make a project cohesive, I think that's where my best work comes out of. And usually when there's like a purpose behind it, like if this is like a project that's just a project, that's cool. But if there's like a real purpose or real like action behind it, I find that I'm like way more motivated, way more inspired. And it's just like super fun. Like I feel like after the collaborating's done, I'm more closer to that person than I ever have been because we literally like created an intimate setting to like just share our ideas. That could be a very like that's a vulnerable space. Like when you really think about it, like when you're an artist, you're super vulnerable. You're giving out all your feelings and expressions at the risk of being criticized. So when you're with people who get that and who are also willing to add to it, or even just give a different perspective in a way that's not degrading or demoralizing, like it's fun. So I think collaborating is just huge because I learned so much. And when you collaborate with different types of people, there's so many things that are like ignited in you, different sides of you that you're able to fulfill. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
different artists or like even with friends. Like I have a friend that like uh I have friends that signify different parts of me and I could be myself in like totally different ways. So I think that's like how collaborating is for me. And I usually make my best projects that way.
Yeah. No, that's so nice. It's so interesting because when you think about it from like an artistic perspective and you're touching on like that vulnerability that's required, and in the same way, I don't know why, but it brings up like this idea of like accountability too, and how you can go to these same people to help you cultivate yourself as a person. So when you can like expand on that with like your creativity as well, it's like there doesn't have to be a separation on how this person holds you close, right? They can hold you close in like your darkest like inquiries into yourself, and then they can hold you close in that same reflection when it comes out into your art, and they might even have like a deeper perspective and understanding because they already know these other elements and sides of you. So it's so touching when, yeah, like you said, even despite all that you know about each other, you can get past that and then help enrich each other. That's so beautiful. Oh, I love that. Yeah. And I think that speaks more to just like the relational benefits of collaboration that oftentimes gets like mislooked or overlooked and undervalued when we're in this like hyper competitive industry of being an artist, and everybody's like really encouraged to like only think about like their personal gain. um, but when you're able to like dismantle that by just focusing on what art is really about, which is just like, again, nourishing like the human psyche in these multifaceted ways, then you can really join with other people in that union because like you said, it's coming from an authentic place, it's coming from a sincere place of trust, and that's where real art is made, like in that community. I'm so glad you said that. That's really important. That's beautiful. Okay, next question. Oh, so the next question is, I'm sorry, I made the screen really small because I wanted to look at your beautiful face.
Yeah,
But
like
you started preaching and I was like, hold up, let me move the screen. That was so good. Okay, so the next question is, oh, okay, do you want to answer? You can choose. Do you want to answer describe your practice in 5 words, or do you want to answer light bulb moments next? You can answer both, but like whichever order you want is up to you.
I would do the light bulb moment because I don't know
Okay.
what to describe me. So like a light bulb moment I've had um during the fellowship is when we went over trust and their their system of collaboration that I think is so cool.
Yeah.
Having their Discord be a space for people to give ideas, to get grants, for everybody to vote. It's very community driven in a way that seems so simple, but I never thought of in that way. So it
Right.
was really cool because I think it's gonna revolutionize like how other organizations do that in a healthy space. Because I think that's one of the things I worry about the most with creativity and technology and like the internet is just like how do you let creatives be expressive while also not worrying about trolls and people who really are just mean and like
Right.
are really just like trying to like dismiss things that like break the social norm. So I
Yeah.
think reading about that with trust and how they're doing it was really inspiring, and it gave me some light bulbs into things that I could do with my project and like other projects in the future. And just being able to like connect with other artists that are on the same wave or not on the same wave that we could just learn from each other too. That would be even better. So yeah, that was like the light bulb moment for me.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. I think that is the benefit, just like getting your eyes open to different models and seeing how you can apply your ideas using that model without feeling like you have to completely reinvent the wheel, or or not just like depend on things that are like already working, and joining in on those things that are already working, especially since one of the fellowship members mentioned that they were in trust. So it kind of like helped open your mind too, because then you realize again, oh, okay, this is something that I can replicate and I can also join. So this means that we can become like a network of these things and help to support one another, versus like me feeling like, okay, I have to be a part of this one particular institution or collective to become a part of something. It's like, no, everyone's sharing their tools and their resources. And I know like the term for that is like open source. Like when things are a lot more open source on the web with information, then it like kind of again takes away this like hierarchy or this exclusivity that oftentimes happens when it comes to creating, where people are like, unless you know XYZ person, then
Mhm.
you are blocked from ever being able to accomplish what you're seeing other people accomplish, when you know you have the same value that they have when it comes to the ideas that are within you that you'd like to see manifest. And you know that you have the same like intelligence to be able to do what they have. But once we're all again sharing the blueprints and the tools, then we can all become satisfied. That's dope. Yes. Okay. Well, then I guess our last question will be just for you to touch on a little bit of what you're doing with Femmes at Large and what you hope to gain from this fellowship with Femmes at Large.
So with them at large, my ultimate goal is to create a safe space for people to, for people to be able to express their femininity and not feel like it's a bad thing or not feel like it's subjugated to one particular group. That anybody, no matter their gender, their looks, their anything, they can express femininity and it be a safe space. And so that's ultimately what I want to achieve. I would hope that out of it comes like opportunities for people that are performing in the event to get looked at or to get moves. I also wanted to act as like a crowdfunding experience so that a lot of artists that aren't able to, or a lot of, especially I feel like trans women who need help, they can get those resources through the event. The way we have it structured, I feel like it can happen, but like it's still small. So that's kind of my biggest goal is like for everyone to have a good time, to connect, to get exposure, and to get help.
Yes, yes. Those are good goals to have. Yes, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this fellowship can help you to achieve those, and can help you to like then spread that knowledge to all the people that you're gonna encounter with this new platform that you're gonna create, and people will be able to join
Yes, that's
for
the
the
whole.
event and beyond.
Yes.
Yes, awesome. Well, that concludes our interview.
Yay.
Yes, thank you so much for your time, for your thoughts. Again, like you mentioned, it's always a huge privilege when we get to hear what's on each other's minds. So I've adored getting to hear what's in your mind for a very long time now. And I'm really grateful for this opportunity for other people to like take advantage of all that you have to offer us with your sensibilities and just your heart.
I appreciate that. Thank you for giving me this space, and thank you for being you.
Yes. And thank you, and whoever
Thank
you
you.
are, whatever that entity is.
Right.
No, for real. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.